Hello, everybody. We are live. Want to say hi, Milo? Want to say hi? Say hi, baby. It's been a long time since people have seen you, and you've lost so much weight. Say hi, baby. How much weight he's lost. He's still heavy, but he's lost a lot of weight. Okay, I'm going to wait until a few people get in here before I start talking. Sara, how's a baby? How's your little baby? How old now? Like 2 weeks old? Hi, Jenny Cakes. Sara just had a baby. I know Jenny Cakes just had a grandbaby. Happy babies. Look at all these 2020 babies. On top of everything else, add a little joy to the world. Sky Love. Oh, it's Sky Lover now. I like it. Sky, I was just saying that Sara and Jenny Cakes, they have new babies in their lives. Nikki, hi, honey. All right, sweetheart, enjoy your shower. You just had a great nephew. Congratulations. You just put her down in the bassinet. Aw. I can't believe it's been 2 weeks already. I'm doing well. Found out you're going to be a grandma again. You don't even look like a grandma. I know because I see her Instagram. Sky Lover, how old's your little nephew? Oh, these two. You know what? I'm just like, thank God for the new children coming into the world, even though it's scary with all the times that are going on and everything, and it must be really scary for the parents, but we need more good people in this world. Have at it. Raise those kids right. Get them out there because we need some goodness in the world. That's how I'm looking at it. I keep telling my sister, she's 40, and I keep telling her, you need to have a baby. She just met a guy. She's in love. What about these relationships? I call them coronavirus relationships. They meet during the coronavirus. They're the COVID, like when COVID first kicked off. What a cool time to find a new relationship. Hi, Cher Bear. How are you, honey? Rufus was so cute today. Yeah, these coronavirus love affairs, everybody meeting. So my sister met this guy. She actually met somebody that is older than her. She usually dates guys that are like 10 years younger than her. And it's really cool to see her in this relationship. Like, she's a totally different person when she's with the guys that are younger with her than her behavior is much different with a guy that's older than her. She's more demure, more like nesty, more mature. I like it a lot. Sara says this COVID baby is what really scaring me right now. I can imagine. I can only imagine. But you know what? My mom really puts things into perspective. She's like, look, she said, and I believe this too, I believe in the younger generation. She says it's my generation, which is the Generation X, that is going to have to really start kicking it in gear, to make these changes. And then, as these younger generations come up, I like the millennials. They're a very compassionate group of people, and that's a good sign. So we're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. Thank God for the children. They're going to know that because as adults we're best, but what about Generation X? It's our turn. It's Generation X turn to start taking control of the politics and to step up as leaders and to really start mentoring the younger generations. It's our turn, Cher. It's our turn to make sure that we, are doing the right things and leading good examples. And so, Roberta, we can be proud to say that we are good people raised by wonderful parents, and we're both proud and served. And thank you, as I do. Thank you. Yeah, we're lucky to have had good parents. That's for sure. Your parents are so cute, Cher. Cher has a little channel, and she shows her family on there sometimes. You saw my video, and goodness, because yes, your parents are adorable. You look just like your mom too. Jenny says, Alexa, woo! Alexa's here, yay! Jenny K says, my dad just got over COVID. It was horrible, but he's on the mend. I'm so glad he's on the mend. Many prayers to your dad. I hope that he does not have leftover residual symptoms. And I'm glad he pulled through that, Jenny Cakes. Yeah. How old is he, honey? Share Bear. Alexa says, as a millennial, I'm afraid to voice my opinion amongst other people my age if it's any different. That's definitely a thing. But look, there is a lot of fear going. The social media has changed the way we live and the way that we share opinions and the way that we voice things. In the past, when I was young, people didn't talk about politics. It was rude. It was a rude question. You don't ask about politics. You don't interfere with another man or woman's ideas about how they want their lives. And it worked. It worked for people. It's a very personal thing. They always said, don't ever talk about religion or politics or abortion. And people didn't. And it worked. And people got along. And we kind of ought to go back to that. But at the same time, it's like people are starting to really take it seriously who's running our countries and who is. People are starting to look at the seriousness of who our leadership is, because I think a lot of the bullshit is becoming uncovered. A lot of, I think we've been duped a lot. We've kind of been living in a fantasy land for a long time. Jenny Cake says, thank you. He was given the antibodies and it has made a huge difference. 65, thank goodness he's pretty healthy. Thank God. Cool, so he got those antibodies. I need to read how that works. I haven't checked that out yet. Cher Bear says she needs to make up her mind and find out who she is before he is blessed to have a baby. Yeah, of course, but I just want my sister. She's 40. She needs to knock one out. Alexa, just keep sharing your opinions in a respectful way. I do not have a popular outlook with what's going on right now in the world. And, I just, when people ask, I politely say how I feel. And if they ask questions, I answer questions. If they start to get weird about it, I just politely say, I prefer not to talk about it. So, what is going on with my house? Well, it still has holes in it. But I have an appointment so I actually remediated the mold myself. And so all the mold is gone. I did that. I did it, and I saved several $1,000s doing it. So I'm waiting. I hired a female contractor. I just gave her the deposit, and she's going to teach me how to do the drywall. I'm going to be her helper. So I'm super stoked about that. I have a toolbox. That is my toolbox. I got a little step ladder. So I'm collecting tools, and yeah, I'm starting to learn. Yeah, it's on the mend. It's a freaking mess. It's a mess, but I mean, this is how I've been living, is like, just stacks and stacks and stacks, but I'm doing the best I can. You love DIYs? I love that you love that. It was scary tearing into that mold, but I did it. It's clean. It's gone. I tore off the wood off the walls, and that felt good to get that, that raw. Like, I love doing masculine jobs sometimes because it brings out the masculine. It brings out my masculine side. Jenny Cakes. How's your house doing, Jenny? Thank you, Alexa. I feel like I have more control definitely now. Sarah says, my state just got bumped down to stage 1, as they call it, and now businesses are being required to refuse service if masks are not being worn. Yep, that's happening. You know, my belief on the mask, and some people would disagree with me, but I don't mind wearing it. The things that bum me out about the mask is the lack of, like, I don't mind wearing it, and for me, it's a symbol of respect, and I wear it. Do I want to wear it forever? No. But I wear it, but there's a lot of annoying things about it. I don't like the fact that little children they're not correctly picking up on people's faces, cues. You need to be able to look at people's faces and learn about your intuition and learn how to pick up signs and symbols and learn, a lot of like autistic people, they don't know how to pick up cues on people's faces. What I worry about with the masks are these little children aren't learning particular cues on people's faces because of this mask. I don't know if that makes sense. So I worry about that. I worry about the people who are constantly working, long days with these masks on. I worry about like the oxygen level and stuff like that. I worry about the social interaction between men and women. It's already hard enough to approach one another and to make a connection biologically, and add a mask to that. We're just adding more disconnection, I'm afraid of. One thing that annoys me about the mask is my lipstick. I want to be able to wear lipstick, Why am I wearing lipstick under a mask? Or when I look down because I carry a fanny pack now. Check out this fanny pack, you guys. Or my ladies, all my ladies in here. So I wear fanny packs now. I no longer wear purses, and I absolutely love this fanny pack. It's actually a tackle. It's for tackle, and it's got all these compartments in it. And then there's one in the back here, and then you flip this over, and then there's like 3 compartments here, and then there's one inside of here, which is awesome. It's like a 12 by 6, I would guess, or maybe 15 by 6, I would guess. Fits great. I know, isn't it cool? It's pretty big. I love it. I no longer want to wear purses because they just annoy the shit out of me. Just like bras. I don't wear bras anymore either. So yeah, I think it's great. I love it. Like I said, it's for tackle, but I can't, shit, I gotta make it tighter, but I can't find any fanny packs that are big enough. I like to carry a lot of stuff with me. So I just bought one for tackle. And I've been looking at the men's bags. Men's bags are a lot bigger. Looks like I need to tighten this strap. But isn't that cool? I think it looks sharp. There was black. There was camouflage. Jenny Cakes says it's good. It could be better. The weather right now is insane. Wild thunder and lightning. Aye! Cher says I don't want to cut Jenny Cakes completely off. My love, with politics, we can email, and she wants to. Alexa says, my 8-year-old nephew is autistic and he can't speak. He's nonverbal and people expect him to wear a mask and it's impossible. Oh yeah, it's ridiculous. And then people judge. So yeah, I'm not too, like I said, I wear the mask as a courtesy and I don't have any problems doing it, and I'll do it as long as I have to. Do I want to do it forever? No. But, then you got people like, I don't know that it's really been proven that the mask helps, has it? Hi, Fedora. Because you have Jenny Cakes, her dad just got the virus, right? And it's like, okay, tell a person whose dad almost died that, wearing masks is not a good idea. So there's a lot of different opinions. The mat, like I said, I wear the mask politely, respectfully. But there's a lot of things I don't like about it, of course. Fedora, how are you, darling? You look ready for a hike or a festival. I've always wanted to go to I've been to festivals like Burning Man and stuff like that. It's been a long time though, but it's so funny, Alexa. You're gonna laugh at this, but I was like the other day, it was probably last week or something. I was like, it would be fun to go to a festival with Alexa. I was thinking that. April's here. Woo! I'm awake, but not for long. School's open here, so 5:30 is early. Oh, shit. Well, good. I'm glad school's open. I'm glad the kiddos are going to school and doing okay. How's your little boy? April is raising her grandson. We've got all these grandmas in here. Cher says, do you need some money? Hell yeah, girlfriend. Don't we all? Where are all the burger subs? Where's Crazy Sailor Guy, the motorcycle guy, and the cat who lives up in the mountains? I'm sorry, I just had terrible with names. Cat that lives up in the mountain. I don't know. These guys sound cool, though. Let's see. Okay. Strapped. Yeah. Isn't that freaking cool? I've got my moo-moo on. I'm literally wearing a moo-moo. So, anyway. You need some money. April says, who's pregnant? Oh, we have a bunch of women in here who just had babies. Oh my God, Eric's here. Yay. Hi, Eric. Fedora says, I'm old as dirt, but no grandkids here. But you're still a grandma, right? I know that I'm of grandma age. So, I'm very maternal. I have Milo. Did you guys see Milo? Say hi, Milo. Say hi, sweetie. Milo, say hi, honey. Can you guys see him? Say hi, sweetie. He hates the camera, so he gets really shy. Yeah, hi, honey. He's lost a couple pounds. I don't know if you guys can tell. Cher says, good to hear from you, Fedora. Eric says, hey, Roberta, you look good. Thank you. COVID has really spiked up here, 2-week shutdown, and Eric is in Colorado. Oh, shit. Are you serious, Jenny Cakes? Closed all our schools and mandated all children to get flu vaccine by December 30th, or they can't even participate remotely. So they have to say, so what you're saying is they have to have a Jenny Cakes. The children have to have a vaccine or they can't even participate in school remotely. I don't know how I feel about that. How do you feel about that? I mean, why can't you participate remotely? Wow. That blows my mind. Yeah, Fedora, I know that your guys' prime minister is really cracking down right now. What is his name? I always forget his name, but he's so cute. I know a lot of people don't like him. I agree, Alexa. I feel like we don't. I mean, it's got a 99.5% or 9% survival rate. And we know it doesn't. Trudeau. Oh, okay. You like him. Okay. He's so cute. He's a hottie. For some reason, I thought you said you didn't care for him very much. New Mexico. Eric, I always think you're in Colorado. I don't know why. That just blows my mind, Jenny Cakes. So people are being forced to vaccinate. I'm so glad I don't have kids to worry about. Milo is doing good. I actually took him, I do have one concern. I took him to the vet to get all of his blood work done just to make sure he's good because he was lethargic for a couple days, actually a couple weeks. He was acting weird. He wasn't eating like he normally does. So I took him to the vet and there's a little lump on his leg and I looked it up. And it started when I got him vaccinated before we left Seattle because I wanted to make sure he had all of his shots to come to Arizona to make sure he was, had all the shots for an Arizona cat versus a Washington cat. And he developed a lump on his hind leg. Okay. So I had the vet check it out and she said, she said, watch it, make sure it doesn't grow. But I looked it up and I'm like, cats get cancer from these vaccines. And I'm like, are you fucking serious? And it starts out as a lump. So I'm a little bit concerned about that, but I'm glad that I talked to the vet about it and stuff. But I mean, surgery is a couple $1,000s, Cher says you better wear a mask. You better wear your mask. Everyone should please. I wear my mask. I have no problems wearing my mask. I told you my concerns about the mask. Maybe, Eric says Fedora. Yeah, they're shutting everything down here. Fedora says he has his faults, no denying that, but I'd rather see him than Aaron O'Fool. Okay. Don't worry so much. Some masks over 70% of the time you've got to wear it. April says they sent home a letter about the flu shots, but said it wasn't mandatory. Okay, April. Now, April lives in Tennessee, so it's a little different over there. A little more freedom, I think. I hope not, Eric. Don't say that. Don't say that, Eric. It's not a cancer. Like I said, she said, pay attention to it. If it grows, then get him in. I am vain. Cher, you're right. Fedora says, well, this week is going to be fine. I have an appointment to do blood tests at the hospital. It has an outbreak now. Oh, shit, girl. They contain those patients to higher floors, but still, it's a scary thing. See, Fedora has underlying conditions. So, it's easy for me, a healthy person, to sit here and talk all the shit I want, and I get that. So when I'm talking about this stuff, understand that I am not being cocky. I'm just sharing my opinion with it as a healthy person's perspective, That's right. Goody lives in Massachusetts. Eric says, oh, chemo for my dog. What? 800 for a chemo session. Did it get rid of the cancer, Eric? Hey, oh shit. April. Hang on. Where is my corn husk doll? Okay, I just moved things around. But I haven't even been able to unpack because my house is still a mess. I know I've been living like this for months, but my corn husk doll usually sits in here. Where the hell is my corn husk doll? Oh, that's going to drive me nuts. I'm going to have to look for that. I will. I have it. I display it. But I had to pull it down for some reason, and I misplaced it because I had to stack everything up there because I left town. You guys, I want to tell you guys about the woman I met on the way from Washington to Arizona. Alexa says, you're a vain girl. You're not. Thanks. I'm sorry to hear about your doggy, Eric. That's horrible. It's horrible. I have it, April. Here it is. Here it is. Yeah, I had to put her away because here she is. I put it up against my American flag usually, but I had to put it away because I had to stack a bunch of stuff on here. But I usually have her right there. But I didn't want anything to happen to it because I was doing some construction work. But she's usually against my flag, which is displayed this way. But I'm sure you guys saw all that dirt up there. Okay, so I want to tell you guys about the woman that I met on the way from, but I love that doll. April made me that doll, you guys. I want to tell you about the woman that I met on the way from Washington to Arizona when I moved back in March. And her name is Bonnie. And anyway, she was leaving Washington, Seattle, and I was leaving Seattle at the same time. And we both stopped at this little motel called the Alamo. This motel is in Nevada, okay? There's nothing around it. It was out in the middle of nowhere. I'm like, I got to stop here, okay? I needed to let Milo out, relax, like that. So I see this woman, this little short gray-haired woman, and she's real closed off, real closed off. She didn't want to share a lot. But then she had seen Milo's face in the window and she went, oh my God. And like, that's what kind of like opened her heart a little bit. And she's like, started talking to me about Milo. And then that's how we started to bond. She had a wall up big time. So she broke her wall, and then we started talking, and we were both freaked out because of the virus. We both left Washington. She was on her way to Arizona to be with her daughter, who's my age. I'm on my way to Arizona to be with my mom, who's her age. We just clicked. Anyway, we're talking. We're both scared because of everything going on. We thought the borders were going to close. We thought our government had some sort of weird scandal behind all of this. Like, we were scared. This isn't right when it first kicked off, you guys. Like, we were scared. So anyway, I get her number, and then we both go back to Arizona. And 2 weeks later, I get a text message, and she texts me, and she's like, "Hey, I'm just checking on you. Just want to make sure you got home okay and everything." I'm like, "Yeah, thanks for getting hold of me." And we've been friends ever since. Like, we hang out. Like, we get together probably like once every 2 weeks and talk and hang out. But she's my cat babysitter. She fell in love with Milo. So when I leave now, because I've already been back to Seattle, I went back to Seattle to see Aunt Mac for her 94th birthday. How freaking cool is that? Saved every penny I had to get out there. And then I worked while I was out there and saw a few of my old clients. That paid for my trip. And then I was able to bring some money back home. And so she stayed the duration. It was almost 2 weeks with Milo. And so if I have to leave a night or two, because I go to Phoenix sometimes to see my family, and she'll babysit him, and she'll stay at my house because she's staying with her daughter and her daughter's husband in a 1-bedroom apartment right now. What did Aunt Mac say when you went back to Seattle? She didn't even recognize me, Eric, at first. I had the mask on. So I'm knocking on the door, and she opens the door, and she can't hear very well anymore either. And she knew I was coming because I called her. I wrote her. I have to write to her. I write to her once a week religiously. And I wrote to her and I said, "I'm coming, Aunt Mac." I was just going to surprise her, but I was like, I can't do that. I want to make sure she's there, And she did not. I know, it's funny. So I get there. She didn't recognize me because of the mask, and I pulled the mask down, and she's like, "Oh!" She got so excited. And I went in and I washed my hands, and I gave her a hug because I had got tested before I left, twice. I got tested twice, and I didn't see anybody before I saw her. So yeah, it was awesome. It was so good to see her. And I took her to Claim Jumper. I mean, I am cleaning up. Like, when she had to go to the bathroom, I'm in front of her wiping shit down. I'm behind her, I'm like wiping with Clorox wipes. Like, I made sure she was really safe. Took her to Claim Jumper because that's her favorite place to eat. Actually, Salty's is, but I couldn't afford Salty's. And it was just really nice. And then I worked, made money, visited a few friends. Not very many friends, just a few. And then clients. And they're actually, what Seattle is doing right now is the governor Inslee, he's recommending that people quarantine when they get there. So if I would have gone now, they'd be expecting me to quarantine for 2 weeks. I'm an idiot for drinking coffee at almost 8 p.m. I saw that video. I'm so happy you found a good. Yes, I did. I found a friend. Hey, you lose a friend, you gain a friend, you know? I left a lot of friends behind in Seattle, and so it's kind of cool to like bring one up with me. you know, friends are important. Friends are important. You never know when you're going to need a friend, and I really take my relationship seriously. When I choose somebody as my friend, like I really, I have a loyalty badge, and sometimes I wear my heart on my sleeve, and um, so it's hard to leave friends behind. To virtual after Wednesday, he won't be going back to campus since my family doesn't even want to do Thanksgiving. Oh, yeah, my friend just texted me about her son. Um, they're going back to campus, but they're talking about doing virtual again. They're not so she watches my channel. I don't know if she's listening to me right now, but they're making some people take the vaccine now. That some children. Where was that, you guys? Who was saying that? That was Jenny, right? I know, Cher. Well, she's old, man. She's 94. She can't hear anymore. It's just she has a neighbor that checks on her. I asked my friend to do it. One of my friends. We're not really friends anymore. I don't know if you guys remember Sarah, but she's not doing it. But anyway, Eric said, "You tell her you love her," and she says, "Me too." And that's so funny. I know it's like she gets all upset. Me too. She gets all upset. She doesn't like the camera, but she tolerates it. Yes, it's the flu vaccine. Okay, it's the flu vaccine, not the coronavirus vaccine. Okay, Jenny, thanks. I was just gonna text Man and be like, "Hey, don't feel bad, girl. They're making kids do the okay. It's the flu vaccine." See, the flu vaccine just always made me sick because when I was in the army, they would make me take it, and I would get so sick every time. I'm not talking about like a little sniffles. I'm talking about a full blown flu. There is no Rona vaccine yet. You know what they're talking about right now, Fedora, is um, they are talking about mandatory shots in New York City for children going back to school. Don't mind my messy house, guys. Do you want to see my little balcony? So I inherited a couple of spider plants. I've never had plants before. See those big old spider plants? They've got the long arms too. They're beautiful, huh? And I've got a Christmas cactus back there. One of my friends sent me flowers for Veterans Day. Aren't they beautiful? And then I've got an aloe vera plant right here. I'm growing like a little snake plant. This is my first time ever getting involved with plants or growing plants. Well, my mom's a green thumb, you guys know. So I'm like, well, I need to learn. And I have a tomato plant and a pepper plant. I have to check on those tomorrow because they're downstairs. Sky says your nephew was born October 24th. I wish I had a nephew. I'm jealous. Well, I so my cousins have kids, and I feel like I'm their auntie. They all call me Auntie Becca. So, you know, I feel like I feel like I'm an auntie because of them. Because like they're my second cousins, but it's not like Debbie says always have a special place in my heart. You always be my long distance sister. Stay in touch, hon. I changed my phone number. I'll message. Okay, honey, please do. Now make sure you have I'm pretty sure you have the new phone. Because I text you and I didn't hear back, so now I know why. Who here, just curious, who here is going to take the coronavirus vaccine when it is readily available? Put a 1 in the comment section. I'm just curious. You have family in New York, Jenny Cakes? This guy says that's crazy. There's going to be a lot more homeschooling going on. I'll tell you that much. Yeah, I feel well. You know what? It might be good for moms because moms are so overloaded with work. They've kind of been pushed into this role of being the breadwinner and having to be the parent, and like taking care of the house, taking care of work, doing all this stuff. So it might change the family dynamic. But then if you're single, you're pretty much effed. How are you going to work and take care of your child while they're at home in school? So Jenny Cake says no, never to the vaccine. Even though Jenny's father got the virus, she says nope, she's not doing the vaccine. They won't even let us homeschool without the damn flu vaccine. See, I just don't like that vaccine. I think it's not good for everybody. It wasn't good for me. Like I said, Eric says I'll never take the vaccine. Cher says twins are going great. How about your seasonings? What are you going? So, I don't. So, my mom's planting like pumpkins and squash and stuff right now in her garden. You guys, I just got the iPhone 12. I absolutely love it. But I have these little pop sockets. I put 2 of them on there because I'm like, I'm not going to break this thing. It's freaking expensive. I don't think I'm going to take the vaccine. I mean, I know I'm not going to take the vaccine. What if they start saying, okay, well, you can't have this job unless you take the vaccine? What are you guys going to do then? You're going to have to do it, right? I mean, we're in these horrible situations. Cher says no. I thought you'd be. See, I know Fedora wants to take it. Oh, she says not sure yet. Depends on my health, so we'll see when the time comes. See, I thought you would say yes for sure. Um, and my mom says that too, Fedora. She's like, you know what? I'm gonna observe this situation. We'll see how it goes. Watch other people take it first, and then kind of go from there. I mean, if you think about it, we've been taking vaccines for, what? How many years? Like 100 years or something like that? I mean, I don't know. I've never looked it up, but I would guess. When was the first? I'm just going to Google that real quick. When was the very first vaccine in the US? When was the very first vaccine in the US? Question mark. Because people would die of shit back in the day. Polio was a huge deal. Edward Jenner is considered the founder of the vaccinology in the West in 1796 after he inoculated a 13-year-old boy with a vaccine virus, cowpox, and demonstrated immunity to smallpox. The 1798 was the first smallpox vaccine developed. Now, smallpox was just ripping people apart. I mean, it was such a nasty thing to die from, so, but we're not seeing that with the coronavirus. We're not seeing those kind of, right now, we don't know what's going to happen, right? Like Fedora says, you kind of sit around and wait to see what happens. Jenny Cake says he ended up getting the virus 2 days after the flu shot and had pneumonia shot. That is happening a lot. That is happening a lot. Fuck. That is such fucking bullshit. Why is this happening? I'm not an anti-vaxxer, but this is just too soon. That blows my fucking mind, Jenny Cakes. I am so sorry. How does your dad feel about all this? He must feel very violated. I mean, I would. I'm not Cher says, you guys, this is not forever. This is just for a little bit of our lives, like maybe 2 years. So get your vaccine. It's not like you do, just like you do for your polio. Yeah, but look, Cher, this is a different situation, Cher. People are not dying from the virus like polio. It's not the same effects. And we have had massive outbreaks of different coronaviruses, and we've never had to do what we're doing now, you know? Eric says, I don't want to get political, but when Biden won, I was like, who's going to bring the economy back during COVID? Amen. Amen to that. You know, a lot of people, I don't have a popular opinion. Hi, Amanda. That's my best friend, you guys, MG. I don't have a popular opinion when it comes to our political stance, a lot of people's stance, but you know, I wanted Trump in there, and I pray to God that he wins these lawsuits. So MG is my best friend, you guys. So we've been friends since I was 14. I just turned 14 when I met her. So actually, I was probably 14 and a half, and you had just turned 14, Amanda. But when were the trials done? You mean for the coronavirus or the original vaccine? We were talking about vaccines. Jenny Cake says, hi, MG. So Jenny Cakes was saying, Amanda, that that all the kids in her school have to do a flu shot before they go back to school, even virtually, okay? And she lives in Massachusetts. And her dad just got the flu shot, all right? And the pneumonia shot, and he caught the coronavirus. He got coronavirus days after he got the flu shot. So I'm not taking a damn flu shot. It makes me sick as hell. That shit freaks me out. Thomas Evans, what are you doing? Nice to see you. What are you doing, honey? MG says, this country didn't shut down during World War I, World War II, or the Spanish flu. This generation is going to be known as the weakest generation ever. I hope not. Amanda says, no flu shots for my kid. Amen to that, sister. You know, I was just saying too, Amanda, that like, you know, the way that we've been operating for the last 20 years, the man and the woman has to work. Both parents have to work in order, generally speaking, in order to be able to pay the bills, make a decent living in this country. And I'm wondering, like, what the hell is going to happen if you have your kids? They have to have these mandatory vaccines. How is mom going to go to work? You know, or dad, or vice versa. You know, there's a lot of people switching roles right now. So not much. You doing good? Are you doing good, honey? That's good. Anything new or exciting? Are you still working? It's just there's so much going on, you guys. It's a lot. Amanda, do you want to come up on the panel? I can send you a link to your email, and your little face will show up, and you can come up here and chat with me if you feel like it. I know she's not going to. Hi, Nikki. Nikki says, I really get sick if I get the flu shot too. Yep, see, you're not the only one. And I've heard other people say it. You guys, Jenny Cake's dad, this is Jenny Cakes, her dad got sick after taking the flu shot and the pneumonia shot. He got the corona. That's crazy to me. Cher says, so Roberta, what should we do? What are you going to, so Roberta, what should we do? What would I do? Like in what? I understand, sister. I understand, sister. I love you. What do you mean? What am I going to do, Cher? About what? If I had a child and I was a single parent and they were forcing vaccines, what would I do? I don't know. You know, what do you do? You're done for the winter time. It's time to hibernate. Well, I'm glad you're feeling good. I'm living the COVID dream over here in Arizona. My walls are still open. I've got the ceiling still open, but all the mold is clean from my house. I just hired a female contractor and I'm waiting on her. We're going to make an appointment very soon. I just gave her my deposit and we're going to go ahead and she's going to teach me how to do drywall. I'm going to be her helper. How freaking cool is that? So thanks for saying hi, Amanda. I love you, sister. You know, I'm watching these families direct, you know, I'm just glad I don't have kids. You know, I watch my friends with kids and the struggle that they're going through, like kids that are, you know, these are people, red, you know, red-blooded, freaking, you know, good tax-paying, hardworking American people, just really struggling right now. People who have always done the right thing, you know, who are questioning their government, their country, their leadership. Friends forever, share bear. Thank you, Thomas. I'm excited for the little project. Look, I have a toolbox back there too. Look at that toolbox. It's a big one. Of course, I bought all these tools I don't freaking need, but that's all right. I'll need them eventually. MG says, there was a doctor that was speaking out saying the flu shot makes you more susceptible to COVID, and he got banned on social media for speaking out. And it's happening to people. It's happening to people right here in my chat. That is amazing to me. Jenny Cake says, yes, I remember that, MG. Yeah, it's funny, Thomas, because I'm like, well, now when I walk into Lowe's, people are starting to like recognize me and stuff. But at first I was like all nerdy walking into Lowe's, like trying to pick out a tool, being like, asking I just was so awkward going into Lowe's. So I'm starting to get like, I'm just starting to build my masculine energy. It's picking up. It's picking up. Jenny Cake says, well, Cher, you're entitled to your opinion. Cher lives in Michigan, and she is a firm believer of, and that's the thing, Jenny Cake says, you're entitled to your opinion. And we need more of that, right? We need more people to be able to like talk about what's going on without like starting fights and hating one another and silencing and censoring. What are you guys thinking about all this censoring that's going on in the media? Cher, are you noticing that? Are you noticing the censorship in the media? Nikki says, I bet people were less selfish back then. I could be wrong, though. I'm so sick of people who can't wear a mask or go everywhere with symptoms. Yes, that's true. Nikki just got the virus, you guys, and you know, she's like struggling with that because she's in an environment where she's around a lot of people and it's nonstop, and you know, she's had the same sort of symptoms 3 different times now, and she's a frontline worker and she can't get out of it, you know? So like I said, I'm all for wearing a mask. It doesn't bother me, and I see how it can help. Like I said, I don't know if it's been proven to work. Who here knows that? If it's even a mask has been proven to help? Because they say it all the time on these mainstream medias, but I've never read anywhere where it's been proven. Cher says, we're not going to get the weakest. We are going to be the greatest, and they are the greatest. And we have to believe that we're going to save this country. And I'm not going to get political on who. It's hard to have faith in your leadership, Cher, when they're lying to you and they're censoring shit. You know, I hear what you're saying, and I appreciate, you know, that, but it's hard to have faith. You know, I lost faith in my country a long time ago, and that's just something. It wasn't until April when I started paying. Well, actually, the end of March is when I started paying attention to the politicians. And when I was told that I had to cover my face, like many women that I have met in Iraq, and I was not allowed to have a business anymore, that's when I started really paying attention to what's going on around me in the political spectrum. You know, I'm new to learning anything about politics. I had no I had 100% faith in politics before I joined the military. And then after I got out of the military and I did 2 tours in Iraq, I wanted nothing to do with politics, my government, my country. I didn't want to see red, white, and fucking blue. Like, I was done. Okay. Hi, Rachel. Is that Rachel? Oh, it's Rachel J. Hi, honey. I wanted nothing to do with that. And then, like I said, at the end of March, when people started telling me I had to cover my face and close my business, I'm like, what is going on? Let me see her. Eric says, you better make a vlog DIY of you're doing drywall too. I actually am. I'm documenting it. I documented, I did some videos of me tearing off the ceiling and tearing off the wall and stuff like that. And I'm going to piece it all together when the drywall's done and make one video about it. Cause I want to give women confidence. It was so scary for me to open these walls. I was terrified to open these walls, but once I did it, I was like, I can do this, and so I want to make a video that's going to inspire other women and even men to just tear into it. Because I didn't have the, $5,000 that they were asking me to do this work, it's like I had to do it myself. Thomas says the government is trying to change the world big time. Yeah, it's obvious. Fedora says people are not trusting their leaders with good reason. Never has a pandemic been this politicized. Absolutely. Thomas says trying to change the way we think. Yep. Cher says, no, if you are presented with taking a vaccine to save your life, tell me you're not going to. Yeah, if I know it's going to save my life, I would for sure share, but we don't know that at this point. We don't know anything about this. See, I disagree with you, Rachel, on Trump. I don't believe what the left mainstream media has put out there about him. From the research that I've personally done on him, the bills that I've read about him passing, and just a lot of, that's just my opinion though. And we can all agree to disagree, but it doesn't seem like Karima. It doesn't seem like you gotta put the baby to bed. All these ladies with babies. Nice to see you, honey. Karima has a channel. If you guys want to go over there and check it out. After I was okay, Rachel, I'm in the middle. Okay, I'm registered and independent. I voted for Obama. Okay, that's the only time I ever voted before, and I was in the middle, and like I said, I wanted nothing to do with politics, especially after being in Iraq. Okay. And that Iraqi war was a Democrat. That's a Democrat's war. Well, it was a mixture. Okay. Bush started it, but it was a mixture. And when I started doing my research back in March and April diligently, because I haven't had a job, I don't have a job right now. So I've been really researching what's going on. And that's why I say that I disagree with you. I think he's a good president. He's no worse than anybody else. He hasn't started wars. He's prevented them, if anything. What are you doing for work? I'm not working right now. I'm on unemployment. And I'm getting ready to start school in the spring. Don't know how I'm going to pay for it, but I'm manifesting it. It's amazing how strong, and thank you, Nikki. Thank you, sweetheart. Karima says, you look, thank you, Karima. You're a sweetheart. I don't watch mainstream media either. I'm not a Democrat. A lot of people don't like him. He's not the popular choice. I don't have, like I said, when I come on here, I don't have a popular opinion. But I don't think he's any worse than anybody else that's up there right now. How do you feel? Because I know Rachel's in Los Angeles. How do you feel about your lockdown in California? I know it's going to be rough for you guys because you guys have been locked down this whole time pretty much, right? Nikki says, thank you. My son and I just got over the virus. We are doing well, Fedora. Yeah, Nikki thinks she might have got it a couple of times. Oh my God, Gretchen's here. Gretchen! How are you, honey? I just want you guys to have an open dialogue here and just make sure that, please like try to get along in the chat and stuff because we're going to have different opinions. Try to have healthy feedback with one another about your opinions on this because it's serious. And one thing we need more than ever is to be able to talk about our stuff. Look, more than half of the people in my life do not have the same views that I do, but they're my best friends. Well, Amanda and I have similar views, not on everything, okay? But we don't fight about it. So let's just try to get along. Just I want to make sure we get along over here. That's all. Cher says, well, I'm not noticing the media is something you don't want to believe because the media sucks. Right. You know what? And that's one thing the left and the right, Democrat, Republican, Independent, anarchists can all agree on is that our media sucks. Gretchen, how? Okay, you're driving. Okay, you stay focused, girlfriend. That's one thing we can all agree on is the fact that we can't trust our governments. We can't trust our leaders. We can't trust the media. That is one thing we can all agree on, isn't it? And that should give us good indication of more of a reason why we need to stick together. You know what I mean? Watch TYT. Well, I don't know, dude. What's TYT? I'm gonna look that up. What is TYT, Rachel? TYT. I like President Trump. I grew up, I've been in the military, I've been a bartender, I was in the car business, and I've been around a lot of those kind of like rough talking types of men. I think a lot of women don't like the way he talks because he could be vulgar at times. And I get that. But as far as his performance, his work performance, after being in the military and watching my leaders perform and watching other leaders perform and other soldiers perform, President Trump he does not quit. And that to me, I want a leader he's got freaking grit. He's got moxie. He's not going to quit. He is down for the fight. He does everything he says he's going to do. And he's just a really hard worker. I believe he's a true patriot. I believe he loves this country. I believe he loves business. Is he perfect? No, not at all. But I like his work ethic, and I like do I necessarily like the way he talks all the time? Not always. Sometimes it's at that debate. Now, mind you, he was sick from the virus, but that debate disgusted me. I was sitting there with my best friend and her husband watching it, and I was like, I drove all the way to their side of town to go watch this thing. It's like 45 minutes away. We're going to have, watch the debate and stuff. And it was disappointing, Eric says, I don't want politics to be about men or women, race or personality, just about America. Amen, brother. Amen. Fedora said, I had no idea that you had it, Nikki. I hope that you and your son are not left with long-term or permanent health issues. Amen to that. Amen to that. Look at how many people that's been in the chat that's been exposed to this virus, you guys. Fedora says, I had no idea. We already read that. 70% says Dr. Falski. Okay, I'm way behind, guys. We're freaking a mask, though. Very simple. Maybe don't. Rallies people shoulder to shoulder. I'm more of a progressive. I have no problem with the mask. You like the Young Turks? I used to watch them back in the day when I was I used to watch them like 10 years ago, but I don't watch them anymore. It's I'm trying to decipher people's opinions from the facts, That's what I'm really trying to do as of lately. But I used to watch the Turks back in the day. Biden isn't a liar. Jenny Cakes is laughing. um, Simple people, he's gross. I saw that joke. He can be a fucking dick, He can. I admit that. He's not very. He doesn't have a lot of tact. And that's one thing that, a president should have is tact. And I think there's been times where he's had, I'm a Trump supporter, but I'm not like one of those people who are like, oh, he's perfect, There's a few times he's embarrassed me, a couple of times, of the way that he's behaved, especially during that debate. I was like, what the fuck? But at the same time, I can understand, like, he had that virus. He's probably really agitated at the time. Jenny Cakes says, what has Biden done in 47 years? And that's another thing, too. I was listening to somebody today talking about Biden. It's like, what does he have to prove here? Like, this will be his last term in office. He's probably going to retire after this. Like, this guy is like some freaking, it's like, he's like a ghoul. He's a ghoul. He goes up there and he like says what everybody wants to hear. I don't trust him. Camilla, I don't know enough about her. Does it make me happy that we're getting more women in office? Hell yeah. But the stuff that I've read about her doesn't excite me. But at the same time, to have a feminine edge in politics would be a lot. I'd like to see that happen, and it makes me happy that's moving along, even though it might not be a candidate that I personally want. But I want to see more women in office because women are less violent. We handle things in more, of a nurturing, loving kind of way. And I think that's what this world needs. This world needs love right now. It's true, Nikki. I agree with you. Yep, that's what's going to happen, Jenny Cakes. And Nikki says, at least with Trump, you know what you're getting. He's a good leader, but he needs manner curses. He does. He really does. And that's my only qualm with him. And, when he built the wall, there's a big scar in the desert, in that beautiful desert. One of my friends went down there for some hiking trip, and it's a gorgeous desert, you guys. And I'm just an animal lover, and it makes me sad. It makes me sad we have to build these walls, but we have to. Like, I agree with protecting our resources and protecting our country from foreign invaders. But there's this big scar, and it's not far from here, you guys. It's like 3 hours away. Well, it's going on. There's parts of the wall that are closer than that, but the area I'm talking about, which is south outside of Phoenix, where they built the wall, it's just a big scar going through the desert, and then the animals can't migrate, and that makes me really sad, Shibber says, #Gretchen. I know, Gretchen and you're driving, girl. If you're still listening and you're still here, we need to catch up because it's been a long time and I miss you. I think about you probably every 3 or 4 days. Jane Cake says, yes, I agree about the wall and the people's spiritual land being disrupted. Yeah, for sure. I think we owe a lot more. That's a great thing about your channel. You only attract your friends. I've attracted really good people into my community. My channel stopped growing, obviously, because I took a lot of videos down, and I want to get back. Let's talk about that, you guys. I just want to say before we switch topics is that I respect all of your opinion. One thing, my job as a soldier when I was in the military was to defend your opinion and to defend your freedom of speech. And if you have a different opinion than mine, I'm not going to hate you for it. I want us all to be able to talk about these things. I'm proud of that. And, so don't ever feel like, just don't ever feel like I'm going to, hi, Byron, I'm going to hate you or something like that because you have a different opinion than me, because that's not what I'm about. What are you doing, Byron? Okay, so I want to start making videos again. I actually got the iPhone 12, which I absolutely love, 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 love. And it takes really good video. So I want to start making videos with it again. And I have a couple topics. I write them down everywhere. So I know I love Carpo. Is he here? Oh, there he is. Hi, Carpo. He's all just stopping by. I'm going to a heavy metal mood, so I've been rocking out. Yeah, Slayer. Woo! We were just talking about politics and our opinions on politics, and we were talking about the virus and a lot of those issues. So you missed our heavy topics. But you guys should go check out Carpo's channel. He is my philosopher hippie dude friend, and he's awesome. And I just love going over there. Nikki goes to his channel too. We were talking about it the other day. We were like, why do you like Carpo's channel? And we're like, he's just so relaxing. It's like, that's non-pretentious. You just like, look, Carpo and I have very different political views. But I can go in there and I can sit in there and I can listen while I do my makeup or whatever and chill and not be offended because of the way he presents himself, And I believe that that's what we need. We need that in our world. Okay. Healthcare should be a human right, not a privilege. Doesn't even believe in climate change. Doesn't believe in women's right to choose. You know what? Healthcare needs to change. Okay. These fucking pharmaceutical companies overcharging people, creating more disease in order to collect more money. We don't have health care, in my opinion. We have make you sick care. If the virus is killing so many people with diabetes, why is it we are not talking about diabetes? Why is it that we are not? Look, I believe I'm pre-diabetic. Okay, today is day. Today is day. Oh, I've switched phones, Gretchen. That might be. I'll have to look. I switched phones, so I might have to reset everything. But why are we not talking about? I think I'm okay. Let me go back. I'm getting ahead of myself. I believe I'm pre-diabetic because I have a lot of the symptoms and I'm addicted to sugar. Today is day 9 with no sugar. Why is the mainstream media not talking about health? I'd be down with a cooperative live stream. Oh yeah, I would love that. Absolutely. Do you want to come on now? You want me to send you a link? Let's talk about some shit, dude. I love it. You want me to send you a link, Carpo? So this is StreamYard. So what I would do is I would send you a link to your email and you hit it. And you would come up on here with me. Do you want me to? I think the issues here is that we're talking about is diabetes, that all the other issues, but they would be with us forever. The virus is just temporary. Yeah, it's temporary and it's killing people with diabetes. And diabetes is a huge issue right now that we need to start really, the amount of energy that's going into the virus needs to be going into that topic because it's killing people with diabetes. But yeah, let me send you a link. All right, Carps. All right, you guys, we're going to get Carpo up here. I'm just assuming. I'm going to go ahead and send you a link to, you have any way to sign in? I don't think. What you do is you'll go to your link and you just hit it, boom, and you'll pop up. So do you have a computer or a phone? I'm assuming you do because you're watching this. You don't have to have a way to sign in or anything. You just need a computer or a phone. I'm going to go ahead and send you the link if you feel like it. I'll do it. Okay, cool. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, it works on phones now. They just switched it up. Okay, so I have a couple topics that I want to talk about in the future. You guys tell me what you want to hear, because like I said, I stopped making videos. I took down over 700 videos. I started losing subscribers. I had no motivation to make videos anymore. I wanted to stop putting my addiction issues out there. But I definitely want to give like a recovery update. So I'm going to definitely do like a recovery update. But yeah, so topic number 1, what makes a man a good lover? A woman in her 40s perspective. What about that topic? But isn't it weird going from addiction recovery videos a year ago to all of a sudden, boom? Because I love talking about interpersonal relationships with men and women. I love talking about that dynamic. It's something I'm passionate about. I'm no longer passionate about talking about my freaking problems, you know? Although, like I said, I do want to give an update on my recovery. Because I've been dabbling in kratom. I was in AA for 2.5 years because I didn't like NA. I didn't like the crowd. 2.5 years, and I've just put that down. And so I've been drinking a little beer here and there. So I definitely need to give a recovery update and then move on. Okay, Carpo. I know you have to be ready. You have to be ready to do a live stream. So what do you guys think about that topic? Okay, here's another topic. Things I would tell my 20-year-old self. So as a woman who is 45 years old, I would love to give advice basically to women in their 20s. Like, there were so many things that I would worry about in my 20s that I just didn't matter, you know? And looking back on them as a woman in my 40s, I'm like, holy shit, I wasted so much time, so much energy, you know, and dealing with like this bullshit. What do you guys think about these topics? I would like to do a countdown. Oh, I want to talk about menopause. Nikki says, I'll be looking forward to it. Have fun rocking out, Carpo. Woo! I want to start talking about premenopause. Are you still? I am, Rachel. Yeah, 2 milligrams of sub. Yep. And I'm thinking about coming down a little bit. Wait, are you? Let me go up here. I know you left another comment up here. Trump doesn't come up with any plan for healthcare. He had 4 years. That's true. The celery juice balanced out my blood sugar. Okay, I love juicing. You guys, I love cooking. I mean, look at all the beauty. I'm taking a quarter teaspoon of Suboxone, a teaspoon of kratom a day with 2 milligrams of Suboxone. But look at all my plants. I'm getting ready to make a cranberry jam. Boop, boop, boop. I made some like amazing like cashew sauce with like a Dijon and a vinaigrette. So I've been cooking plant-based a lot lately, and I've just been having so much fun with that. So I don't know. Do you guys? I know a lot of people liked my recipes from back in the day too. There's nothing wrong with having a couple drinks now and again. We just have to watch ourselves. And you know what? I needed to take a break. And the reason why I joined AAs versus NA is because the crowd was different. I felt safer going to AA, believe it or not. And I said, you know what? I need to put down alcohol. If I'm going to get over the pill problem, I need to put down alcohol. I need to not drink for 1 year. So a year came, and then all of a sudden, I'm like, you know what? I don't need to keep drinking. And I went 2.5 years. And finally, to be honest with you, what changed in my life was I needed a head change. I was like, I need a buzz. Like I really want a head change. I didn't want to get fucked up. I didn't want to get out of control, but I really wanted to change. Premenopause, Carpo. I really wanted to change my headspace, you know, like the coronavirus thing was bumming me out. And I was like, also, let's see. You're still on 2 milligrams of sub. You really helped me a lot with that, Rachel. How is your work going? Are you still working, honey? How are you doing with this lockdown? Because I know California, like they have really strong restrictions going on. I would tell my 20-year-old self anything because I wouldn't listen. That's what I realized. We have to experience it. That's so true. What would you guys tell your 20-year-old selves? I want to hear everybody in the chat. Yeah, Rachel, you're a couple years younger than me, aren't you? Carpo the philosopher, says Cher Bear. So these are a couple topics. I wanted to talk about the top 10 most annoying things about wearing a mask. Even though I support mask wearing, I still get annoyed by wearing it. I need to start writing things down, and so I got a notebook, and that's what I'm going to start doing, because what I would do in the past is I would just kind of speak off the top of my head, and I wasn't organized. I hated listening to myself. This premenopausal is a bitch. You just turned 46. I thought you were a little bit younger than me for some reason. Yeah, the symptoms are starting to hit me. I actually missed a period last month, which was like, whoa. I skipped a period for the first time in my life. I was like, holy shit. I don't want that to happen. My mom's like, oh, it's so cool to not have your period. I'm like, no, I want to be fertile. I want to be fertile. You know, I want to give off that scent. I still like to attract lovers, you know. Do I necessarily want to be in a committed relationship and have all of the struggles with that? No, but I still like to have, you know, the flirting and the chasing and the flirts. I like to have that biological scent. Although I do have plenty of friends in my 60s that still are interested in dating and entertaining the opposite sex. So surprise, unpredictable is what makes a good lover. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, ladies in the chat, put one thing in the chat that you believe makes a man a good lover. And guys in the chat, which I think is just Eric and maybe Carpo might still be here, put one thing in the chat that makes a woman a good lover. Eric already put surprise, unpredictable is what makes a good lover. Rachel says, I have a cyst on my ovary that's killing me. The whole menopause thing scares me. You know what? Those cysts hurt so bad. I've had that too. I'm sorry you're going through that. It's so painful. Cher says, I'm so sorry, but I must go rest my body for the night. Thank you, Carpo, for coming in, and thank you so much, Roberta, for going live. It's great to see you. Thank you, Cher. It's great to see you too, honey. Have a good night. Thanks for sharing your thoughts and your opinions. And passion makes a good lover, for sure. That passion. You know, I used to have a perspective on passion. I used to think passion was, in my 20s, I used to think passion was that, you know, that chase, like you're chasing each other and you're always like, it was an unhealthy idea of passion, just this whirlwind of emotions, this kind of bipolar up and down kind of spectrum of what are they doing? What are they thinking? Ah, you know, this whole, and I looking back, I think a lot of that angst that you have in your 20s is definitely biological, but I used to think that was passion. And now as a woman in my 40s, I'm like, what is passion? You know, what would be passion now? Is it the thrill of the chase from back then? Or is it like nowadays it would be like, you know, having passion for someone, passion, really wanting to, really being impressed with that person's intellect, with their mind, what they're thinking, you know, how they think, how they process emotions, really being attracted to their capabilities, the way that they treat people, just a respect. For me nowadays, passion would be more of a respect than like a whirlwind of like, but it is so nice to have that. How do you describe passion? You know, it's like, it's the passion has changed throughout the years. Delirium Dream, what's up? How you doing, honey? That's your relationship now? It's passion. Why aren't we talking about benzodiazepine? You know, but benzos are just a nasty little thing, in my opinion, that definitely don't create any passion. Although some people do rely on them for massive issues. So I'm not. Oh, it's Saturn. Hi. I'm glad you said something. Delirium Dream. I was like, I know I've seen that name once. Are you in a relationship now? Congratulations. Yeah, I'm not into benzos, man. You know, every time I've taken them, like I just pass out and I end up feeling like shit for days. I think the only time I really ever wanted to take them was when I just wasn't doing well emotionally and I just wanted to kind of escape from the world. But like I said, it's no judgment. Like I understand people take them to help them, and for me, they didn't help. They just made my life worse. 2 months. So you have some passion. So what is passion to you? This is from a woman in her 30s perspective. So yeah, some of these topics are really exciting for me. Like I said, I love talking about the dance between men and women, but it's like, is it weird for me to go from, you know, talking about addiction and recovery and not making videos for almost a year and then coming in and just start talking about, let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you. You know, is that weird? Nikki says, same. I was the exact same. I thought when guys chased me down and never wanted to leave my side, that was love. Yes. What is love now? You know, love is like for me, love back then was just this like, oh, he called me. He calls me every day, you know. He calls me 5 times a day. He must love me. You know, now it's like love. Love is consistency. Love is knowing that there's a person, that person is there for you consistently. It's a stable, not weird, Rachel. I love it. Love is like a consistent stability. Love is knowing that I can always rely on that person to be stable and consistent, right? I mean, we all have our good days and our bad days. Love is, you know, this feeling of wanting to help the person achieve their goals, wanting to help the person be a better person. You know, back in the past, in my 20s, love was making sure that, you know, my makeup was perfect so this person didn't want to look at other girls or whatever, you know. Gretchen says, I would love to see new content from you. That'd be fascinating. Well, I was thinking about it because I'm like, I miss YouTube so much. I do. And good night, Cher. Thank you so much for coming. And what do I enjoy talking about? I enjoy talking about the dance between men and women. I enjoy talking about women's health. I enjoy, as I vape, I enjoy talking about food, not, you know, plant-based foods. I enjoy talking about, I don't enjoy talking about politics, but I think it needs to be talked about right now. It's something that I swore I would never talk about on my channel, but I'm like, it's important to talk about right now. Oh shit. Delirium Dream says the battlefield where we duke it out and figure each other out. Nikki says love is respecting boundaries and being honest. Amen, sister. Yeah. So I've been writing some ideas down and I'm missing you guys a lot for sure. Do you guys like my ambiance back here? my bare walls. Hopefully by the end of the month, there will be a wall back there. So this is going to be my recording studio area. My unit is only 800 square feet. It's 400 top, 400 bottom. And the top is going to be like, I don't want a couch or anything like that. I want a couple chairs. I want like a little recliner and just kind of like a sitting talking area. And then the wall back here is going to be my backdrop. So, I'll have to put like a tapestry. I have a really cool tapestry to put back there, actually. Little hippy dippy tapestry. Ellen Perry. Hi, Ellen. How are you, honey? So, yeah, what do you guys want to talk about? You guys have any questions for me, or you want to share anything? Does anybody want to come up here and on the panel and say anything? That's the thing too, is like if I want to come back to YouTube, I have to really be consistent because what are you doing, Ellen? I want to be consistent because it's really hard to come up and share your thoughts if you're just not feeling it. And I haven't been feeling it for the last year, but you have to have that energy, that vitality, that passion. Is like, I lost that, and there's a consistency that needs to happen. And I was consistent for, a couple years, and the channel was happening. But there's also a fear that I have. There's a fear of sharing too much information and that information getting into the wrong hands and then somebody trying to hurt me. I have pretty bad PTSD. And so you never know if you get some weirdo from the internet that's going to stalk the shit out of you and make your life miserable, And so that's a huge fear of mine. So talking too much about what's going on in my life might not be a good option for the future, Eric says, at this point, friendship, loyalty. Oh, you're new. Welcome, Ellen. Where do you live? At this point, friendship, loyalty, good person makes a woman, good lover. Now that I'm older, sounds boring, but true. Yeah, boring is like, hey, I'll take boring nowadays versus that up and down bipolar emotion. I can't do that anymore. I'll take boring, but not boring to the sense like we're in the, I don't want a guy who's going to be sitting on the couch eating Lay's potato chips, watching TV. Like, that's not going to happen. Like, the guy that I end up spending time with in my life is going to be someone that we sit here in my sitting area and we talk about life. We talk about what's going on, and, we can have different opinions and share them and not be freaked out by it. And, I want somebody with depth of character for sure. I want to date somebody who's older, but at the same time, there's a physical thing that I need also. So, but I like being single, honestly, guys. Ladies and gents. Oh my gosh, Liam. I'm so happy to see you. What you doing? At this point, friendship. Okay. I would come up there with you. I will one day. I just you did. Well, relax then, child. Relax, child, you were there. What's that song by Queensryche? I was just listening to that earlier. It's all about dreams spinning in your head. I don't think I'm singing the words right. Just relax. Just relax. We'll get you down to Arizona. You got to come down to Arizona. I got to go up to you. When I go to Venice Beach next time, you and I'll have to connect, Rachel, for sure. Leah, I don't know why anybody would want to hurt me. That's a good question. I had a lot of, growing up, I had a lot of trauma. A lot of trauma. I miss you too, sweetheart. And I think that shaped the way that I treated myself in my early 20s, and 30s even. That trauma helped shape and create the self-hatred. I don't know. It's interesting. I feel like one thing I love about the 40s is that I'm getting through that. I'm getting through those stages. I'm starting to really, I know myself. I really can honestly say that I know myself, and I know what I want, and I know what I don't want. And it's such a beautiful thing. Um, I don't like loading. Oh, bad internet. Okay. Are you guys loading also? Are you guys seeing everything good on the screen? Um, do I have bad internet? Is it yours? Is my internet loading, you guys? Gretchen says always goes down on me when I ask him to and does an amazing job. Yes. Gretchen says, what is love? Somebody who always goes down on me when I ask him to and does an amazing job. Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about, sister. And even does it when you don't ask. It's like, I had an experience recently with a lover, I guess you would say. You guys want to hear about this? Yes or no? Let me know. Ellen, is it still loading? Is it my internet or is it yours? Let me know if you guys want to hear this story. Put a 1 in the chat now. Nikki says yes. I don't want to offend anybody. Rachel says yes. I'm just thinking. I'm gonna have you guys put on me. Thank you, Ellen. Okay, so the first time was great. It's like all this passion, that thrill. And, of course, we waited quite a while and built some sort of a friendship, and then a lot of passion and intense, heavy kissing and things like this. And then the first time was absolutely magical. I felt like I was really being pleased, and the person was really trying to please. And then the last couple of times, I felt like I was kind of doing all the pleasing, And so I'm like, I want a guy who's going to like take charge of that, like more than half the time. Thank you, Ellen. That's okay. I like your profile pic. Who is that? Let me make it bigger. Oh, that's an interesting. You've got an interesting. Is there a name under there? It says Bruce. What's your name under there? Is it Bryce? I can't read it. Thank you, Liam. Yes, I would like an older, more mature lover for sure. But the physical's got to be there too, And there's always ways to work around that. But I feel like his performance was better the first time, and now it's lacking because, well, maybe I'm dominating. I could be dominating the situation too, and it's probably true. I mean, I have that tendency to like take control because I feel like I need to be in control constantly. And so, oh, it's a meme. And so I kind of need my sexual partner to take control of the situation and be like, oh, no, it's all about you, and like make it happen, and I'm not talking about like in a forceful way. I'm talking about in a sexy, fun way. It's hard to explain that. Like, I'm a very dominant person by nature, and so I kind of need my partner, and I become more submissive when I'm with a lover or a boyfriend or whatever, and I need someone to take control, take the reins, man. Liam says, I plan to stay single. Nikki says, I like being single. I do too. It's a lot easier. Relationships are a lot of work, a lot of compromise, a lot of patience, right? Rachel says, me too. I have severe PTSD from my mom. It shaped my whole life. Only now I understand what makes me happy. Rachel, are you still with your boyfriend? Ellen says, who disliked? It's okay if people dislike. Not everybody's going to like me. One thing I noticed about people is they'll like you until you disagree with them. And I think that's kind of a big issue. And what's going on today in our world is like, oh, everything's fine until you disagree with them. Oh, okay. That's cool. Just curious. You doing good too? Mhm. So, are you hungry? Yeah, so there we go. What else is going on, guys? I get to eat fresh chicken eggs every day from my mom. What's a better word for lover, you guys? I have a companion, I guess, for the time being. You guys like my grandma chair? So comfortable, though. My mom gave it to me. I want to get one just like it, but like a recliner. Watch, I'll show you. It's just like a grandma chair, you know. It's really light too. I love it that I can see all my tools back there. Look at that, you guys. Look at that freaking toolbox. I've got a shot vax. I've got a toolbox. You have 4 bars and still loading. That's weird. What about you, Thomas? Do you have a girlfriend? And you didn't answer. What was your idea of passion and love? Yeah, so I'm excited. I'm excited. I have a better camera now. So I'm excited to start making more videos and to start talking about some different topics. It's something I've always wanted to do. And yeah, I just didn't want to roll in here making videos like going from one extreme, like a really serious topic, to something that's like super fun and not heavy. I mean, people need advice when it comes. I think I give great advice when it comes to like human nature, I guess. I don't know. All right, you guys. Well, I'm starting to run out of things to say, and I guess I'll let y'all go. Unless you can think of some stuff you want to talk about. It's starting to get chilly here in Arizona. It's been in the like high 50s, early 60s, but it's a dry cold. I wish it was daytime. I'd show you the mountain. I have a nice mountain view. Desiree, she says, hi. I'm sorry I'm going back to the recovery talk, but it's okay. I'm starting Suboxone treatment Wednesday, but so nervous. Wow, Desiree. So Desiree, what are you starting Suboxone for? Are you on pain management? Is it for addiction? If you don't mind sharing, like addiction to what? Um, yeah, and I'll give you my opinions on it if you want. For sure. I support Suboxone 100%. It's been a very effective medication for me and my recovery. But I can honestly say, let's see, I have babies to take care of and nervous about how I might feel. Chronic pain, addicted to Norco. Okay. Okay. So I was addicted to pain pills also, and that's why I got on Suboxone. And you know, like talking about recovery and Suboxone issues, it's gonna come up just because that's my audience, and I don't mind talking about it. Sometimes, you know. Um, when I got on Suboxone the first time, it was like I think it was probably about 7 or 8 years ago, and I started at a lower dose, which I believe was good. Because I started at 8 milligrams. A lot of doctors will start people that are addicted to lower doses of opiates at a really high dose. Okay. And to me, so hardcore chronic heavy, in my opinion, heavy heroin users, like sometimes it's better to start them on those higher doses. But I feel this, like I said, this is my opinion, and I'm not a doctor, but I've noticed with people, the higher doses have really bad side effects down the road. You don't start feeling them until about month 8 or 10, right? Rachel says, addicted to Norcos for 10 years on and off, sub saved me. So I started off at 8 milligrams. Now I was still seeking at 8 milligrams and I was still craving opiates. So my doctor put me up to 16 milligrams. That was the sweet spot for me. Okay, Desiree? I did 16 milligrams for about a year. I was so grateful I did it. I was like, oh my God, I've got my life back. I can function again. Okay. And then after about a year, I started getting side effects from the Suboxone, which were hard, really hardcore side effects, like, fatigue was a major side effect. And also kind of a desensitized, like I didn't want to leave the house, stuff like that. So that's when I knew it was time to kind of come off or start tapering down. There's my kitty, Milo. Say hi, Milo. Say hi, honey. You guys, I'm still having unpacked, so there's boxes everywhere. Excuse the crazy mess here. Walls torn off. So anyway, that's when I started to taper down, and I started after a year. I started to come down by 2 milligrams. Okay. So that's when I started making videos, was when I was doing my taper. So every couple of months I'd go down 2 milligrams until I got down, and then I came off of Suboxone, and then I was relapsing quite a bit. And then I got back on 2 milligrams, which Rachel helped me with a lot. She helped me with that decision because I was like so ashamed of going back on Suboxone. I had been off of it for a year and a half, but I was relapsing once a month, and I was staying high for a week, and then I had to be sick for a week, and then I had to do it all over again. It was just this freaking, thank you. It was a cycle that was driving me nuts. And so I got back on 2 milligrams, and I'm doing great at this dose. Thinking about coming down a little bit. Eric says, I've been clean so far. Vivitrol once a month, trying my best. Sometimes I love to drink, but I can't. Now, does Vivitrol affect your drinking, Eric? And I'm glad. I didn't realize you were on. No, I think you told me you were on Vivitrol. I'm glad it's working for you. Thanks, Ellen. My house will have walls. By December, I'm going to have walls and I'm going to have a ceiling. Yeah, Gretchen put a 1. She, has done her, but I'll let her tell her story. I think she's driving right now, but I think if you can't stop on your own, have you tried to stop on your own? Desiree, have you tried to stop on your own? If you can't stop on your own, that's when it's time to get help, because I tried quitting the pills for years, and finally I was like, I'm a mess. I'm out of control. I can't cope. Desiree says, thank you, Rachel, giving me hope. Just hoping I can feel somewhat normal and stabilized by Christmas. You will. You'll feel stabilized after about 4 or 5 days. Do you know how many milligrams that your doctor wants to put you on? I would suggest asking him to start low and then work your way up. Okay, it's a cycle, every 2 weeks running out. What a miserable cycle. You know what? You're not going to be going through that anymore. That's going to end, and it's going to feel very liberating, and it's going to feel really good. One thing I would suggest to your doctor is if you could start at a lower dose and then work your way up. So basically, let's say you started off at like 8 milligrams and you were still craving, then you would call your doctor and be like, I'm still craving. And then they take you up. Instead of starting high and working your way down, I would ask, and like I said, this is my opinion, this is not medical advice, I would ask your doctor to start low and work your way up. I don't know. Does anybody agree with me on that one? Because the higher doses, the side effects They kick your ass after about, I started, like I said, I started noticing hardcore side effects about month 8 or 9, 10. Plan on sweating a lot. You're going to sweat a lot the first year. Yeah, it makes you sick if you drink it. Wow, Eric. Good for you. So you're sober now. Are you smoking weed or anything like that? Rachel says, great, Desiree. Just don't go high as far as the dose. Agreed. Yeah. Yeah, ask your doctor to start low and then work your way up if you need it. If you're still craving, then, ask him if he can take you up 2 milligrams. I would start, how many milligrams of Norco are you taking a day, if you don't mind me asking? So you are sober, Eric. Look at you. It was a great break. I took 2.5 years off of I just being completely sober, and it was awesome. And I'm glad I did it. My head's really clear and straight now. Cool. Awesome, Desiree. Yeah, please update. Like I said, ask your doctor to start low and then move your way up. Millie, I'm on Oxycontin for over 12 years. I went off so bad, but my pain doc calls me a lifer, and she doesn't want to help with Suboxone. It's hard to just taper on my own. How you doing, Millie? That's a tough one. I've never really heard anybody say that. All right, bye, Ellen. I've never really heard anybody say that their doctor wouldn't take them off. I love your hair. Cute hair, Millie. You must have some major chronic pain issues, huh, Millie? Oh, look at Desiree. So cute. Rachel says find a new doctor. That might be a good idea. It's so hard to get like a doctor to even prescribe painkillers nowadays. But it's kind of interesting that you're saying that. Like, I never hear people talk about that. I'm good. Other than that, she's a bitch. Thanks. Yeah, it sounds like you need a new doctor. I've talked to a lot of people, Millie, throughout the years, because I've had this channel forever. I haven't done anything with it for about a year, but I've heard so many people talk about, Suboxone and their pain issues, and it does help. It's not perfect, but it does help with their pain. And most of them say it helps a little, it helps a little. It takes the edge off the pain, but it doesn't, I don't think that it necessarily kills. See, that's the thing about narcotics, man, is like, we get into these cycles because it's like, especially with pain, because it's like, oh, you take a Percocet, it takes all the pain away, you're good. A year later, it's like, it almost has like a reverse effect. And I feel like Suboxone's the same way. It almost has like a rebound effect. All medications. I've been on so many different antidepressants, so many different pills. Look, I was a product of the pharmaceutical company. Being in the military, they just dose you with everything they can, But like, I notice after a year, it's like you get these rebound side effects, and no matter what you're going to take. So I feel sorry for pain patients who get addicted. I really do. I started out as a pain patient, but I needed them. I was in a massive accident. Like, my artery was severed in half. My nerves were cut in my leg. Like, I needed pain meds. I wouldn't have been able to cope with my life without them. And that's not really what got me addicted. That was my first taste to opiates. And for the first time in my life, after taking, I think it was Tylenol 3. I was 13, 14 years old. And for the first time in my life, I felt good about myself. I'm like, I took this pill and I'm like, oh, I'm a lovable person. Millie says, yeah, back, etc. I tried to find a doctor, and right now it's hard because of COVID, and you have to be evaluated before a doc will give you anything. I can't go without anything they suggest asking. Yeah, so it's a tough one. How's the oxycodone? Is it starting to give you really bad side effects? Really? So you've got all the bulges and the disc issues and everything like that. That's tough, man. I'm so grateful that I do get chronic pain from time to time in my neck, and I get back spasms. One thing that works for me for pain personally is when I have chronic pain, I have migraines, and I take a medication for that about once a week. But one thing that helps me when I have chronic pain, which is about once every 3 or 4 months, I'll get some spasms, and I take Flexerol. I'll take meloxicam and Flexerol as prescribed by my doctor. I'll take a meloxicam, which is it's stronger than 800 milligram ibuprofen, and I'll take 2 Flexerol, and that'll usually do it for me. Agoraphobia, that's a big deal. Spinal stenosis, arthritis. I was a nurse for 23 years. Wow, yeah, always on your feet and bent over and lifting, and yeah, it's big time. You'd think that, like, being a nurse, you'd be able to, like, get some respect from your doctor too, but, what it is what it is. Is, the Suboxone covered in your insurance? Yeah. Yeah, you got a tough case, man. What about methadone? Methadone seems to help with pain a lot more than from what I've heard. I mean, I've talked to hundreds of people on my channel throughout the years, and methadone seems to help people a lot more than Suboxone does with pain, from what I'm hearing from other people. But then that's a whole other animal. Sometimes I believe that opiates contribute to our agoraphobia. I believe that I don't necessarily feel like I had a case of agoraphobia, but I feel like I had definitely wanted to isolate on high doses of Suboxone. Think about What do you think about in treatment? Inpatient treatment. So, inpatient treatment, I think if you are really struggling and you want to get off the drugs, I think inpatient treatment is the way to go because they're going to help you do it as comfortably as possible. Um, I've been to detox a couple different times, and I've never done inpatient treatment, but I have done detox, and they help you through it a lot more comfortably than on your own, because on your own, come day 3, you're like, fuck it. I mean, that if you're anything like me, yeah, I really do believe that. Okay, Rachel, thanks for popping in, honey. Have a good night. Yeah, I really do believe that. I think that they will be my best bet. Yeah, do it. Do it, Millie. And the thing about inpatient treatment, depending on where you go, they might be able to connect you with a Suboxone doctor, a methadone doctor, or something like that. I'm assuming you have insurance and all that stuff. Go to detox, girl. Get that shit out of your system. It's very fucking scary. It is very scary, especially if you have kids or animals to leave behind. Yep, I just jinx. You just got it. Yep. You'll miss your wife. But your wife is going to be holding down the fort while you're gone. So, you know, we need to change our way of thinking when we're in these hardcore addictions. Your cat. I got you. I got a kitty too. Milo. Check him out. Say hi, Milo. Don't mind my house. I'm still moving into it, and it's under construction right now. But that's my kitty. Say hi, Milo. Say hi, baby. Yeah, leaving your animals, that's a big one. But your wife's there to hold down the fort. That's why she's there. you know? And because you have chronic pain issues, you're going to be in a lot of pain the first couple months. Isn't he beautiful? I know, he's my sweetie. I've seen you around, Millie. I feel like I have. Probably the recovery community, other channels and stuff. But it's a scary thing, but you know what? Usually anything that's really scary that you know is going to be good for you pushes you forward. And like I said, when you get off the narcotics, you're going to be in even more pain for a while until your body adjusts. You know, it might be a good time, especially with COVID, just to allow, like, this is a time of rest, and just allow your body to detox, allow your body to, rid yourself of these toxins. And when it hurts, just lay there and know that, that pain is that poison leaving your body. And once you get stabilized, it's going to take about 3 to 6 months, to feel okay again, And then from there, you can kind of be like, okay, what do I need for pain? Let me write this down, Millie. Meloxicam, Oxicam, and Flexerol. This is a great pain medication for me, and it's not the meloxicam is it's a little tiny yellow pill, and it's better than 800 milligram ibuprofen. It's stronger. You can only take 2 a day. Yeah, you're in more pain now. That's what happens. It reverses. Hi, Ellen. Welcome back. I'm sorry you can't sleep. That really helps me. I take one of those meloxicam, 2 Flexerol, and it helps me a lot. Different things when it was tough. And Millie, I don't know what how your financial is going, but they have community acupuncture clinics. Community acupuncture clinics. What city are you in? Community acupuncture clinics are donation based only, and most cities have them. I go and I pay $15 to get acupuncture. And it's different because it's not private one-on-one. One-on-one, you're going to probably get more needles. You'll be able to lay down. With community, you're sitting in a room with like 2 or 3 other people. You have your clothes on, but they needle you while you're sitting. Like, you're just sitting in a recliner, and they, you wear like sweats, a baggy shirt, and they needle your whole body. You wear like pants that you can pull all the way up your legs. Start looking into some alternative methods, floating tanks. Maybe if you have space at your home to get a hot tub, you're near Philly. Yeah, look up community acupuncture clinics in Philadelphia. You might want to start looking into some alternative stuff. It's time. Maybe if you guys have the space, think about getting a hot tub, stuff like that. Start looking into some different things. A lot of people do it. Desiree says, when you first started back on Suboxone on a small dose, did it make you feel sick at all, tired, energy? Okay. So because when I got back the second time, I was not used to taking anything consistently. I was relapsing about once a month I'd probably used for 3 or 4 days. So I wasn't quite addicted yet. So I got high. Suboxone made me high for about 3 or 4 days. And then my body started to adjust, and then I felt normal after that. When I got back on the second time, I did not feel tired or lethargic because I was on such a low dose. And I'm glad I did it. I really I do well on a low dose of Suboxone. Look, I call it my mental health meds. I am one of those people who I have symptoms of bipolar, I don't know that I am, but I have and when I'm on off of Suboxone, I go through it, man. And so Suboxone really keeps my mood level. Low dose, which is 2 milligrams, is a really sweet spot for me personally. I love turtles, Ellen. Do you have any turtles? Um, my wife owns her own company, so I'm good. Yeah, write that down, Millie. Write that down. Community acupuncture clinics. Start looking for alternative natural ways to heal pain. I was just reading today, oregano oil helps with pain. I had no idea. I've been taking oregano oil every day now for the last month, just as an antiviral to kind of keep the COVID away. Ellen says, save the turtles. Where do you live, Ellen? You're going to be okay, Millie. It's scary, but you'll be okay. Desiree's going through it too. You're going to be okay too, Desiree. If you don't like your Suboxone doctor, find another one, Desiree. You want somebody who's supportive. I was really lucky in Seattle. I had a really supportive doctor. Good deal. It's I can honestly say that getting on Suboxone was the best choice for me. I couldn't get off of pills on my own. And like I said, there came a time where the side effects from Suboxone really started affecting me at a higher doses. After about a year, I had to taper down and I started to feel better. When I got off, I went berserk for about a year and a half, got back on a low dose of 2 milligrams. I've been fine ever since. But I also took 2.5 years off of drinking and using any recreational drugs and stuff too. Please do. Yeah, I'm actually going to start making videos again. So please leave me a comment. I do Instagram too. I don't know. I'm hardly there though. Like I don't do emails. I don't do phone calls. I just don't. Like I'm bad with communication, but I go into my Instagram about once a week and check my messages. It's at Rockin' Roberta. I don't know if you guys have that Instagram, but or you can just leave me messages on my. I always get my messages on my videos and stuff. So usually, when I was doing my channel regularly last year, it was starting to get out of control, but all right, you guys, I'll let you go to bed. Thanks for popping in. It's good to see new faces here. And I love supporting women and I love, supporting people in their journey, their recovery journey. I know what it's like. It's very scary but it's so worth it. And I fully recommend like just getting on this medication isn't like taking steps to like heal your mind because it's not just our bodies we need to heal. Like a lot of it's our mind too, like creating different habits, getting some sort of therapy or support, whether it's NA, AA. You don't have to drink all the Kool-Aid. I was in AA for 2.5 years and I didn't drink all the Kool-Aid, but a lot of it really helped me. Going to a circle every day with people, like-minded people who had similar issues and talking about my shit, getting a sponsor to help me like sift through my bullshit was fucking amazing for me. And I'm glad I did it. It's one of the topics that I want to talk about on my channel. I'm going to write that down actually, because like I learned a lot in AA the last 2.5 years. But like I said, it wasn't forever. But so all right, you guys have a good night. Thanks again for popping in and I will talk to you soon. Okay, good luck. Please keep me posted. Leave me a message on my latest videos on how you girls are doing. So thanks, Nikki. You inspired me actually it was Carpo that inspired me yesterday to go live. I'm like, I need to get back on here. I miss YouTube so much. I miss interacting with people and I know it means a lot to me. Like when I go watch somebody's video, like that entertainment, like hearing another human voice talk about like their lives and what's going on, it helps. It helps. It's soothing, you know. So, all right, ladies, have a good night. Bye.